Hi guys, TinaGale here, and today I couldn't resist pulling out the Bo Bunny Petal Lane collection from this month's Flavor of the Month kit to work on one more layout. So it pretty much started with what papers I had the biggest size of because I wanted to do like a 1-inch border around this next layout. So I decided to use the black cardstock that was in the kit this time. And it pretty much started with this large die cut piece that was in the embellishment kit. I thought it was gorgeous and I knew I wanted to use it as soon as I opened the kits up and stuff, but I hadn't really decided on how I could use it or, how it would work on a layout. But it was in the back of my mind the whole time. So I pulled it out, decided, I needed a large background, so I wanted to do like a 10 by 10 in the patterned paper. And I actually had a different idea in mind, but my husband had come in and was talking to me, and I cut the paper the wrong size. So I ended up doing this pink background and then putting the one that has like the little spokes down at the bottom. I think that was the one that I was trying to cut for the large background, and then I was going to do something with the pink. I can't quite remember right now, but I think that's the one that I miscut. But I had these photos, and these are really, really old. My husband and I had only been married 2 years when these photos were taken, and it's from one of those little photo booths, and they've held up really well. I wonder sometimes, and I don't think the photo booths nowadays are printed the same way this one is, but this is actually like a really quality photo. So I thought it would be cute with that large die cut that I could use it partly as a frame, and then my journaling is going to go over there as well. So you saw me sliding it all back and forth from the right side to the left-hand side. And I really struggled with what side this should go on the layout, because the bicycle is driving off the page with it over here. It's going in. And in the photos, we're both kind of looking inward, but yet sometimes when I look at it, it's like, oh, no, it should be on the other side. So I kept thinking compositionally with the bike and the eye line that maybe it should go to the left, but I really liked it better on the right hand side. And so I'm going with the photos are going to stop the bike from riding off the page, and since we're both looking inward, then I'm hoping that that doesn't really matter, that we're not like guiding your eye off the page. So in the end, I really like the way it looks, and I don't think there's a problem with it where it looks like it's going off the page or anything, or it's going to direct your eye off the page. But that was one thing that I struggled with in the beginning. Other than that, I think it all went together really, really easily. Other than you'll see here, I get ready to start gluing things down, and I'm like, oh, that's not glued down. And then when I picked it up, it's like, oh, well, I didn't even glue the background down. So you can tell I was in a very big hurry to get all this together. I couldn't wait to see it all finished. So instead of cutting the pink background down so that I could save some of that pretty paper, I went ahead and just glued over the top of it. Since this is the second layout that I'm doing from this collection, I felt like it was pretty safe. I still have plenty that I could probably do a third layout with no problem. Definitely have the embellishments to go with it. So I'm not really in the mood to save the paper at this point. If it had been my first layout, I definitely would have cut it off and saved it. And then I took my large scallop punch, and it's the one that has the little embossed dots that Shamel uses a lot. So I love it, and I use it quite a bit. It's been a while since I used it, but I really wanted a really large, soft scallop. Lately I've been using the small one, but on this layout I really wanted the big one. And then that yellow ribbon was in the embellishment kit as well. And I just went ahead, I had to cut it apart so that it would fit. But I think that was a nice little pop, especially against that black. And then I wanted to put flowers. I wanted something coming out from each side of the design elements of that frame and the photo. And I only had this one flower piece, so I ended up cutting just a little bit off and tucking it in on the right-hand side. And then it ended up, part of that flower I had cut in half, but I needed it because it was going to poke up. But then it kind of looked odd because there was nothing really poking up right there where I just put that flower. So I found the pattern paper that had the flowers and just fussy cut those. And I'm going to stick those in. And then I cut some more, but I ended up only using one, I think, down at the bottom. But I just wanted just a little bit more flowers. And I'm still looking, you see me tapping up there, it's like I've got that little hole and it's kind of leading your eye into nothing. So I took one of the tabs, and this one says happiness, and I just popped it up underneath the photo there. And so I think that's really cute. I thought that was a nice finishing touch, and it fills that gap so that your eye doesn't really get caught up in there. So here's where I'm looking back at this flower sheet, trying to decide what other ones I could cut to use as embellishments. And I just choose the pink one with this kind of darker pink, I don't know, little foofy branch coming out of it. I don't know what you call it, but it's just light and airy. So I'm going to put that down below that large flower cluster. And then that's pretty much all of the major elements that I do. I debated back and forth on the top left, putting banners or, you know, something up there, because the sticker sheet you can see has a few banners. That one with the yellow flowers is a little banner. And looking at it now, I could have stuck that up underneath those flowers for a little bit of extra embellishing. So you'll see I debated back and forth of putting more on the left-hand side of the photos, but in the end I felt like it was a little bit too distracting, and I didn't know how much writing I was going to do, and it ended up I had plenty of room for writing. I actually have room left over, so I wished I'd kind of spaced it out a little better, but I get in a hurry, I don't pencil it in, and I don't write it down before I start on the layout. I just am brave and just go straight onto the layout. So sometimes it works and sometimes it could be better. Then I went ahead and drew along the outside edge with my pen, and I put that one little love die cut there at the bottom. I felt like that could definitely be, you know, an addition to the layout that would improve it. And of course my gold Heidi Swap color shine, that's been going on every one of these layouts, and I've used it a lot here lately. But I put all that on, and then I'm going to go ahead and I have some gold enamel dots that I'm going to add in, and then there was a couple that were like little triangles, and I put those in to kind of point your eye to where the journaling is going to be. And then that's it. That completed this layout. It was so super fast. Helped me get one more layout out of this collection. So if you like this or you're interested in kits, be sure to check out the Scrap Room. And like I said, this is June's Flavor of the Month kit. And that's going to do it. So have a great day, and we will see you back here soon with another process video. Bye-bye.